Hello all, today we are solving LeetCode problem number 2975, maximum square area by removing fences from a field. So we are given a field basically. It is not a grid because in yesterday's problem that was a grid, but today it is a field. So which is m minus 1 cross n minus 1 as the area, and we have the corners as 1 comma 1 and mn as the corners, and we are given a list of vertical fences and horizontal fences. So we it is named as v fences and h fences, which ranges from 1 to n, and h fences ranges from 1 to m. And we are allowed to remove the bars whichever is given inside the fences. So basically we are given some inputs in the fences, so we are allowed to remove only those bars from the whichever is mentioned in the fences, right? So output, what exactly we need to return the maximum area of a square by removing some of the fences. We can remove fences, or we even do not want to remove fences, but we have to return the area which should be of a square, right? This should not be a rectangle, this should be a square. So if we are not able to find a square, or if we are not able to do that, we have to return -1 as a result. And since the answer could be very large, we have to perform, or we have to modulo that with 10 power 9 plus 7, and then we have to return it. So let us understand this by getting into the first example. So this first example, here we are given uh, let me change the color of the ink. Yeah, so we are given h fences as 2 and 3 and v fences as 2. So we have v fence 1 here, I mean 2 here, and 2 and 3 is given here, and the size is 4 and 3. So we are marking it 1 2 3 and 4, and this is 3, so 1 2 and 3, right? So based on this and h fences, first we have drawn this field, and now the task is to find the maximum area whichever we could form by removing these fences, right? So now we can remove 2. So if we remove 2, this will be something like this, right? We are removing the vertical alone, and if we are removing the horizontal, if we are removing 2, this becomes this whole square which has area as 4, right? Also if we are removing, oops, yeah, so even if we are removing this and we are considering this, removing 3, we get the same area which is 4 as a square, so we are returning it. So that is how it is about example 1. So let us understand by one more example clearly, so that we could come up with observation and then jump into the coding side. So in this example, we have m as 5 and n as 6, and we are given fences, h fences as 2 and 3, and v fences as 4, and we have drawn this accordingly. And you could be thinking that to find this area of the square, right, you could just calculate this difference as one length, and this difference as one length, and this difference as one length. Similarly for vertical also, repeating the same, you get some possible lengths and you can multiply them, and then you can find square out of it, right? But if you do that you can see that you can get this one as a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle which is 2 cross 1, and this is even 1 cross 2 rectangle, and you will be getting multiple rectangle, right? So you cannot do this by this way. And one thing, if you note down here, if you remove this particular bar, right, this particular bar here, you can say that you will have one more possible combination of length, this 1 to 3, which is 2, right? And similarly you will have 1 to 5, from the range 1 to 5 as the length to find or to have one more sides, right? So this is how we have to form the different sides or available sides, right? And one thing you have to note down clearly here is in the H fence we have to include the corners also, that is the 1 and n and 1 and m for horizontal and vertical fences respectively, because this is where it starts and the start point should be included in the fence, because that is what we are using to find the length using the starting point, right? So how can we calculate this and how can we process this, right? So we are going to use set because we don't want to have duplicate entries of the lengths, because we can for example we can have two units of lengths created by removing particular entries, which will create a duplicate one. So because of that we can use set here, right? And we will have I pointer here and j pointer will be I plus 1, so it will be here. So we start from here. So for the horizontal, h set is equal to 1 minus 2, and we should be absolute value to avoid negative value, so it should be absolute, right? So we add 1 here, and the j pointer jumps to j plus 1, which is 3, so 1 minus 3 and it should be 2, and j pointer jumps to 5, 1 minus 5 is 4, and then we move the I pointer to, right, oops, it is here, and I pointer in the next iteration, I pointer will be here and j pointer will be here, I plus 1. So now we have 2 minus 3 as 1, already 1 is in the set, so we avoid this, and j is here, 2 minus 5, which is 3, right? So these are all the horizontal lengths which are possible, right? And for vertical we have I pointer here and j pointer here. So I minus j, which is 1 minus 4, is 3, and j is here, 1 minus 6 is 5, and yeah, right? So we next I point will be here and j point will be here. 4 minus 6 is 2, right? So now you have to find the common value between these two, right? So let us name this as equation 1 and equation 2. Find, now we have to find intersection between these two, H set and V set. So we get as a result 2 and 3, right? And we have to find maximum among this, right? So which will be 3, right? And square of this will be 9, so which is the out. So answer will be 9, and this should be returned with performing modulo operation with 10 power 9 plus 7, right? So by this we can say that the area lies here exactly, right? So with this observation, this finding of the set and finding the maximum among the set, we can jump into the solution, right? So as I said, first we have to add the one and the starting and the ending bars or the points into the fences. So H fences is plus or equal to, we should add 1 and n, and V fences plus or equal to 1 and m, right? So now we have to find the length. So L of H is equal to len of V So now we have to find the set. So before that, we will define the set. So h difference is equal to set, and similarly v difference is equal to set, right? So now we have to iterate using I and j pointer, and then add the differences or the sides into the set respectively. So for I in range should be LH, and for j in range which should start from I plus 1 till LH in range, right? So now you have to add. So h def dot add, you have to add the absolute value. So absolute value of uh, h fences of I minus h fences of j, right? So now you have to repeat the same thing for the other thing as well, right? Yeah, so this should be VH, VH, and this should be V difference, vertical difference, and vertical fences, and vertical fences, right? So now we have to find the intersection. So in Python, I'm using, because of Python, I'm using a shortcut here. So h difference for intersection, this is what we would do for intersection by using Python. So v difference, right? So what it does is it finds the common between common values present in the h difference and v differences, and update them back to h differences, right? And now we assign the maximum value uh, variable as -1, because in the question it is asked return -1 if there is no squares formed. So because of that we are defining here, right? So now for x in h def, we are iterating through the set to find the maximum value. Right, so now max val is equal to max of max val, and this should be with x, right? So it updates the maximum value which is present in the h difference as a result of the intersection. Now if max val is still -1, return max val, because they here next in the else part we are returning by multiplying with the max other side, right? The max value whatever is there, because we need the area of the square. So because of that, else return max val cross max val, right? And this should be returned by modulo performing modulo. So oops, this should be 10 power 9 plus 7. Oops, yeah, there is a typo. Oh, this is LH and this is LV, my bad. LV, right? I found the issue. The issue is here because the h fence has the length or border or range between 1 and m. This should be changed from n to m, and this should be n. And now let us go ahead and submit this. And yeah, thank you.